Everyone, let's take a look at how to use the new, very experimental in development memory profiler. I have AngryBots open here in Unity 5.3 Alpha 4. It's very important that you have at least that or later. You need to go to the build menu here and ensure that you have your project set to ILCPP here. Currently, the amount of data that you get from an ILCPP player is much better than you get from a mono player. So make sure you have that, hit build, and then run the generated Xcode project. I actually already did this, so I have Xcode here running on my iPad, which you cannot see, but it's running AngryBots. Okay, so when I've done that, I'm gonna open a new project over here, and I'm gonna go to the memory profiler project that you can find on Bitbucket. I'm gonna open that up. Oh, I hadn't remembered that, that's funny. Okay, so normally you wouldn't actually see anything here. Let me just clear this. And what you need to do is a little bit convoluted. You need to go to the profiler window, the regular profiler window here. Then you need to select your wherever your iOS game is playing over here, and you need to make sure that this profiler is actually getting information. And when you have that hooked up, you can go to the memory profiler here in the window menu, and you get this guy. And then here you can click take snapshot. This can take a while because it actually downloads the entire C# heap from the device and then has to do a lot of processing on it. And when it's done with the processing, at some point you get this. So let's take a look at what we're looking at. These are almost all C++ objects. You can select one and then you can see what kind of a thing it is. This is a native Unity Engine object. It has a name, a class name, instance ID, some more settings. And you can see that the things that it is referenced by, and you can see the things that it references. So let's take a few more ones. Most of them, reference 1 or 0 things, but then sometimes there's more. Let's take a look. This one, for instance, is referenced. This is a animation clip. This one is referenced by a mono behavior, by an animation component, and by a managed animation clip. You can actually tell that it's managed because it's blue. So C++ things are red, managed things are blue, GC handles are purple. And you can also zoom here. So I can go in like this. You can go all the way to the smallest things here. I have a GUI texture, skinned mesh renderer. Wow, this one is actually, this is the player skinned mesh renderer, which, as you can see, is referenced by a ton of stuff. But it gets really interesting when you find the managed objects. So I happen to know that they are here in this block. It's purple for me, but it doesn't have to be purple for you. So this one is let's see if we can find an interesting one. So this one is a system string. And actually here you can see one of the key features of the profiler, which is the shortest path to root. So I have, like the way it works, like the way you usually want to work with this is you find something in memory and you wonder why it is there. And the shortest path to root will tell you this. It says that this is a string. It's actually referenced by an object called contraction, which is in an array of contractions, which is in a simple collator class, object of that class, which is in a compare info, in a culture info, which is stored by the static fields of system globalization.culture info. So that's interesting, not one that is particularly easy to get rid of. And then if you, for instance, select this field, object, you can see that we also try to display the fields. It's a little bit broken because it's so, you have to scroll it a little bit. So we try to display the fields of the managed objects as well. As you can see, it's a very, its development is in a very early phase. The inspector is all wonky and broken, and like the buttons take forever to respond, and you have no idea if it did something. But we put it on Bitbucket anyway because I feel that it already If you're having memory consumption problems in your game, you probably care more about fixing it with a tool that's not great yet than you care about waiting for us to align our buttons. Okay, that's about it. Have fun.